Brought to you by Panda Express.
Yeah, it's coming. We got this. And
I can't believe it's not butter.
go!
Welcome to the Biz4Good with your hosts, Bobby Glen James and Ryan Pilkington. The Biz4Good podcast is a fun and adventurous series that dives into the world of business, nonprofit, and startups, making a difference in the world for good. Get ready for another episode. Hey, cue that sick intro.
Introducing Bobby Glen James and Ryan Pilkington. Biz for Good.
All right.
We're on.
We're on. Welcome to the Biz4GoodShow. Welcome. Episode 33, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show. Okay, maybe not the greatest show on earth, but welcome to the Biz4GoodShow.
Starring.
I am your host, Bobby Glen James, along with the Ryan Pilkington.
That's me.
That's him. That's him. And we are here to tell you about the greatest business secret of all time.
Ooh.
It's called doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing good in your business. One of the greatest ways to grow your business, to create followers, to create clients, to create massive amounts of revenue and income. Figure out what you can do in the world and do good.
Yeah. You can turn off those other news places and just listen to us.
Just listen to us.
Because we provide the good
We
news.
provide the good news.
And the good that's being done in business.
And the good that's being, yes, absolutely. So today we're doing something a little different. We're mixing it in studio with a road trip.
Yeah, you're getting a double hitter.
Double hitter. So
Today's episode 33 is BizMunchersReview.
BizMunchersReview. What is BizMunchers,
that?
Ryan?
We're just doing everything with biz. Biz Munchers, Biz for good, you know.
That's your mindset, Ryan.
That's where I'm headed.
Create these
That was the only thing that was open on the URLs. No. GoDaddy? No.
BIZ works.
Biz Munchers is a networking service. Not really a service. It's a networking luncheon that we do.
Yes.
So you can talk about it. You're really good at it.
I'm really good at talking about
I created
BizMunchers.
it, but I can't talk about it.
What are you talking about? You talk about it. It's great. So the whole vision behind BizMunchers is you got to eat. And it's kind of nice if you get around like-minded business owners, business folks, and it's very low-key, very laid-back. We just kick back at different venues throughout Salt Lake, and we basically just have a good time having camaraderie. There is no real sell or anything like that. There's no hard sell. It's very low-key biz munching.
Yeah.
People that own businesses that munch together.
Meet, eat, biz is our motto.
Meet, eat, biz.
I went to a
Meet,
lot of
eat, biz.
networking, and it was great. I met a lot of great people. I love you all that's listening to this, whatever. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. I had to get outside of my skin. I just wanted a little bit more of a place where I felt comfortable and didn't have to feel pressure to kind of do stuff. I don't know, maybe that's bad, but I felt like organic was really
Important.
easier to get past some anxiety, maybe?
Well, not only that, we come, I think our whole mindset and the entrepreneur groups that we've been a part of and the people that we've gotten relationships with and stuff, we've been to a lot of networking things where it really is, I'm pitching you my stuff and I'm trying to get you to buy my thing or I'm going to help you with your thing. But it's always been about the relationships with everything that we do.
Relationship.
It's always been about just knowing, do I want to hang around with this person? And if I do, then maybe I wouldn't mind doing business with them too. Or maybe I could learn from them as a mentor. So it's more about, and I've been thinking about this really hard, Ryan.
All right.
I've been thinking about this really hard, and I feel like I've thought about it so much that now I've forgotten what I was thinking.
You thought about it.
No. I'll get it here in 2 seconds. Oh,
Camaraderie.
No, it's not camaraderie.
I'll
It's
just be quiet.
What were we talking about?
Connecting, not selling.
Oh yeah,
Relationship.
if you come about this is what I've been. This was my hardcore thing. I remember if I don't forget right now. Okay, so we come to networking meetings, and a lot of people we've been to a lot of networking meetings where it really is about selling your product. I mean, that's what you're trying to connect with people, and that's why people go to meetings. So I can get them to see this cool thing that I have, and I'm going to sell them.
Awareness.
Right? But if you change that, and this is the way we've always done it, to where how can I make a connection with people? And what can I do for them? If I go to a networking meeting with the thought process of I just want to meet people and then see where I can assist them in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because that's this reciprocity thing. When you really are outward focused and you look giving that way, then they'll do the same.
For sure.
When it's legit, when it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's just care about those people instead of going, oh man, I want them to buy my stuff.
The thing is, we've put like-minded people in the same room. They just naturally talk with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And outgoing entrepreneur people are normally outgoing.
And we're going to see that in our interview. These folks, the interview. So what we did at BizMunchers is we just went around the room and interviewed everybody around the room. What does business for good mean to them? And so we got some pretty cool insight, I think, from that. And this was just a few folks at BizMunchers.
Awesome. So it's just us in studio, and we're going to do the BizMunchers review. After we do some segments, some studio news, you'll hear that full interview with all the guests that attended the BizMunchers, people that are doing great things. And we'll turn it to the B4G studio news.
Oh, and we do have Fred and Eric in the studio. Fred and Eric, you'll see.
Yeah, Fred.
Both is standing there. Fred,
They're best friends.
Eric, they're good friends. They're twins, actually.
They're
Fred
twins,
and Eric are twins. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Fred and Eric.
Fred and yeah, I think so. That
Okay,
sounds good.
that
Fred
works.
and Eric are our
There's our
speakers. PA system. Yeah.
All right, today's
new toys.
New toys. Bobby's always playing with new toys. B4G Studio News is brought to you by Mazuma, and we're going to turn that over to Bobby.
Mazuma, I'd like to introduce you to the biggest thing to happen to the accounting industry since 1495. Wow. That's right. It's Mazuma Bookkeeping and Taxes. And if you own a small business, it is about to change everything. Mazuma was established to focus solely on you, the small business owner. Here's how it works. Step 1, send your statements and documents to Mazuma. That's it. They do all your bookkeeping for you and will even file your taxes with optimal returns. And here's the best part. You pay $75 a month, $75 for an accounting department. You can trust Mazuma. Call now to set up your free consultation. Call 866-575-9100. That's 866-575-9100, or visit MazumaUSA.com.
Awesome. And there's a code.
Oh, yes, and there's a code. So when you sign up, when you go to MazumaUSA.com and sign up, use the code Biz4Good, B-I-Z, for good, and you'll get something from that. Awesome.
It's also, we have special partners that help this show move along. The paddle.
Yes. EFL360.com. EFL, entrepreneurs, founders, and leaders. We do EFL 360 weekly every Thursday here at the Miller campus from 4 to 6. Where we get together, all these entrepreneur-minded folks, these business-minded folks and leaders. Yeah, it's recording. He's looking at me. Dude, are we actually recording this? Because it has happened where we haven't. And yes, Ryan, it is recording.
Sorry. Squirrel.
It's recording.
Okay. Back to EFL.
EFL 360. Entrepreneurs, founders, and leaders, 360 degrees, tools, connections. This is where if you want to get out and meet real people, doing powerful, wonderful, cool things, and do a networking on a whole different level where it's about meeting people and making real connections. That's EFL360.com. And Speak Up Professional Speaker Studio. I'm excited to talk about, we have an event tonight.
Ooh.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, we're doing Story Magic.
Story magic.
Story Magic, where we tell you, there's telling a story, there's actually some actual tools to using that. There's a method to telling a story. You don't just get up and tell a powerful, impactful story. There's actually some guidelines you have to use that every movie director, producer, every author, most of them that make an impact know this whole story philosophy, this way to tell a story. And we're going to dig down deep, and we're going to get people in to find out how to, one, find out what their core story is, the core thing that they believe they're on this earth for, to move and to move forward, right? And then the second is how to tell it in an impactful way.
Love it.
So that's Speak Up.
And you'll have more of those, I hope, to come.
Absolutely, there'll be more of those.
Promote
Speak
it
Ups,
on the Biz4Good Show.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Bobby. I just want to say I love seeing some news on the national level, spotlighting the good that's being done in the service that's being done with the recent hurricanes in Texas and in Florida and up into the coast. And there's a lot of good stories coming out of there, helping animals stranded. So I believe these things happen, unfortunately, but they do bring out the best in people, and it really is good to see that. And we want to thank the men and women that do the fire and rescue, the nurses, all those people that are brave, and the volunteers that get up and spend many hours cleaning up all this. And we did a last thing with Robin Cage called "In the Darkness There's Light." It's just boom, there you go.
There was.
I mean, there was a darkness, and then they had to.
So many people stood up.
They stood
and
up.
said, "I'm going to help the human race that I care about."
Yeah.
It's powerful. It gives me hope that we still are. There are good people in this world that want to assist each other. I mean, it's just, I'm excited that there are good people out there.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, that's our studio news. We are gonna head into the segments right now, and we're gonna talk about 7 hacks to be confident. And I found these on successmagazine.com.
Success Magazine.
And
7 mental hacks to be more confident in yourself.
Yeah. So this has been a couple weeks for me where I've really had to be more confident in myself.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand
be
up
brave.
for the
and,
Ryan.
There's a fine line sometimes with me with feeling like if I'm too confident, I get kind of egotistical or cocky. I don't like that word, but
Yeah,
arrogant.
that's the right word.
And I feel like if I go in there, their guns blazing there.
There's a good friend of ours that you know pretty well, Steve Ellis. I remember him telling me once. He goes, "It's not cocky if if it's true. If you really are all that, then it's not cocky." And you know him.
Yeah,
and
that sounds like
that's something that he would say. It's like, if you are amazing, then it's not about being boastful or braggy. It's just true.
Yeah.
And I think
that's good. That's
you got to respect and love Steve. He will tell you like it is, exactly how he feels, and I respect that and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it's straight shooter, straight. You know where you stand. And when you're good at something, hey, you're good at something. You should be able to tell people that and stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
It's not being cocky to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And know that you have value.
So the ones on here, the first one is push through the self-limiting beliefs. You want to talk about that?
Self-limiting beliefs.
Limiting.
When we're a child and the world is beautiful and everything is amazing and we're happy and everything is awesome, and then we are in the store and we're happy and we're smiling, and there's this person in front of us, and we go, hi, and mom goes, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't talk to strangers. That's scary. And then they tell you scary stories about
Yeah.
strangers and this, and then all of a sudden the world starts to get scary.
Yeah.
And then we start to get small. This beautiful, big, wonderful, amazing world when we were a child that was so full of powerful stuff.
We're told you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do
Don't do
this.
this.
Don't
Be
do
careful.
that.
They're going to take advantage of you. Be afraid of these things. Stop. Don't go too far. Don't walk too far. Don't leave the house too far. Always be careful what you're doing. And pretty soon we've grown up, and now we have all of these beliefs that aren't necessarily true, that now our mindset believes that. So
Yeah.
if you can break out of, you know what, I can be as powerful as I want. I can go further than I want. I can do things. I can take challenges that I wouldn't have taken before. And hey, if I fail, so what? Then I get up and do it again. If you can face those limiting beliefs and crash them, you're unstoppable.
Anything come to mind on how to put
Actually
that in
do that?
the action item on that?
Actually, how to do it.
Because we can get up and go, I believe in myself, and then you get in the boardroom or you get in and you're like, oh my
You know,
gosh.
for me, I think it's about awareness and acknowledging. So being aware of what your limiting beliefs are first, I think it's a big deal. Because if you can if you just don't acknowledge or know what it is, that you have that in a boardroom situation you're meek and mild or something. If you could acknowledge that okay, now I acknowledge that I, for whatever reason, don't feel good here, then you can overcome. If you don't know what your fixed beliefs are, I don't think you can overcome them.
True. Love it. Awesome. So awareness. And then never confuse memory with facts. So I think that goes into it right there.
You know what I love about our memories? We don't really remember things. Like we're supposed,
Yeah.
like we think.
You go
we
back
do.
and you go, wait a minute.
There was a. I remember reading this, and this is really interesting to me. I remember reading this. They did right after 9/11, and this is perfect because 9/11's just we just went 9/11 a couple days ago. They had these people write down their whole situation. They had them write down everything they could remember about that day, and they wrote all this stuff down, and somebody somehow kept that information. And then, like 10 years later, they had them write it again, and they were completely different.
Oh, my goodness.
They were completely different.
Wow.
Of what the same person wrote the day of and 10 years later. They were like, there's no way. That is not how it happened. It did not. And they're like, you wrote that. You wrote that. It did. That is the way it happened. So
powerful.
our minds kind of fill in the blanks sometimes.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what that means. Sometimes we can remember things, especially when we're in an argument with a spouse or something, and we can remember it one way and they remember it a totally different way. The facts, I think, this cut and dry thing about facts, when you know the truths about something, you're better off.
All right, awesome. I love that. And then talk to yourself.
As long as you don't answer, it's okay.
Yeah, in the articles, this might seem crazy, but it works. Talking to yourself can make you smarter. So.
Oh, good. Then I'm all right.
Woo.
I worried about that for so many years.
I guess awareness and then self-talk.
Yeah, when it talks about talk to yourself, it doesn't. It's not saying, but I think it means we're and with Robin Cage last week, she talks about the negative talk in her head.
Yeah.
And how she
And
took
this means-
war on
this
it.
means war.
Yeah, and she took war on that. And I think when you talk to yourself out loud, you can maybe be. And when I know you can talk to yourself but if you talk to yourself out loud, you have to be aware of the words you're using.
Yeah.
And you could be more positive.
Yeah.
And that's why I think affirmations work. And when people get up in the morning and they talk about affirmations, there's a lot of jokes around that. But it actually is a mindset to get you
It's
in a different
amazing.
space.
It's amazing when you hear things and you go, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to do it. And then over the last 5 years, I've tried some of them, and I do see the there's no frou-frou. There is real.
It is real.
It is real.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. What else?
Number 4 is think positive to overcome your negative bias.
That's interesting. Think positive to overcome your negative bias. I'm not sure I understand that. There's been all this philosophy around positive thinking, and I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan, but then here in the last few years, it got really, people started getting on the bandwagon that positive thinking is bullcrap and it doesn't help. It actually causes problems, blah, 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 blah. Well, negative thinking is what kept us alive in the jungle.
Yeah.
Always being worried about being eaten by a lion.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us alive. So we are kind of wired to think negatively.
Yeah.
So especially with 8 wisdoms, the 5th wisdom is thoughts. And I think not just thinking positively, but being aware again of what your thoughts are. Because you can look at 2 situations and go, oh, that's a horrible situation, or oh, that's a beautiful situation where I get to learn something. It's the same situation, right?
Yep.
So it's about thinking about your thoughts, about where your mindset is. And I believe there's 3 pieces. There's living in the now, which you can only focus, you can only connect with your thoughts right now, not in the future or the past, because there's nothing you can do about that.
Yep.
And then thinking about all the good that's going on in the world. So instead of just having positive thoughts, think about all of the good. Like, pay attention to the fact that we have disasters and people that are rising up to take this on. Don't pay attention to the disaster as much as the powerful, amazing people that are taking things on. Look at the good things in the world. And then 3rd is gratitude. Just have gratitude for everything, because everything is a gift. Sorry, I got on the bandwagon for that one.
The next one is raise your curiosity level.
You can't be too curious. Curiosity killed the cat, but hey, at least it found out about something. All right.
That's true. No, there's a song I just listened to. It's called Edges. Oh, man, it's from Linkin Park. And his mom's telling him, stay away from sharp edges. That's it. And he learned, from those experiences, sharp edges, like the bad things.
Yeah. I think raise your curiosity really just means be open to learn.
Yeah.
Always be learning. All of the ultra successful folks out there have always been powerful learners. It's a powerful tool. Just learn. Get out there and be curious.
All the guests that we've had on share that so much over and over.
Yep.
And then overcome self-doubt is number 6. And then 7 is face your fears.
Overcome self-doubt. It's probably the worst thing, self-doubt. It's hard when you don't believe in yourself.
I compare a lot. That's my problem.
Yes, you can't do that.
And then I self-doubt.
You're the only you in the universe. And you're the only powerful.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Look at that, man.
I think that destroys people. They destroy themselves, and it's sad. The only way to get, I think, all those other pieces is how to get out of that, and your thoughts. Connect with your thoughts. Get out of that self-doubt, because you are an amazing, powerful, created thing.
Yeah.
You're the only you in the universe. Come on. You are amazing.
You got like all these molecules and living.
And even your thought process, your brain and how you think, it is...
Each fingerprint
anybody
is unique.
can think that they're worthless. It's just sad because they're not.
Every life matters.
Every life matters.
And then face your fears. Face the fears. I actually am afraid of bees completely. Yep. And I was actually afraid of needles, but I went to the doctor in the hospital and I got lots of needles. And anyways, so sometimes those things are scary, but you do face them. I think you can overcome them.
It's the only way to overcome them is to face them.
Yeah.
And I look for that a lot of times. I look for my fears.
So
when I get scared about something or I get stuff in the tummy, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm on the right path for some stretching here to kind of grow a little bit, to move out of the comfort zone and to play.
So my wife, we were just barely married. She's like, I want to go skydiving. I'm like, oh, no. And we had an argument, man. I was like, no. We're not doing that. I'm staying on the ground.
You could just let her do it.
No, like she wanted to do it, and then I was just gonna watch, and oh man, that freaked me out. But as I've over the last 10 years, I think
she's done it since then.
No, she still wants to, and you and me and your Momo, and we all go. How's that?
Sure, yeah. My daughter did it. She did it in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
She called us from Hawaii and goes, "Hey, I'm going to jump out of an airplane." Like, wow.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
She did it. She got pictures of her going.
But there's some real fears out there, and you got to face them. So I'm still facing fears every day. So.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful thing to face fears.
All right. Any last words on those 7 hacks? You can find it at successmagazine.com or success.com, actually.
Awesome. I think those are good.
And then a real quick story on the good news. There's a lawyer gives up a 6-figure salary to teach and then sends 95% of his students to top colleges. What do you think of that?
I love it.
Let me read this.
Gives up his 6-figure salary to teach.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yep. You don't think he can make 6 figures teaching?
Maybe.
No, probably not.
Probably. Masin Ismail left international law firm Norton Rose Fulbright to teach and is now in charge of Newn Collegiate Sixth Form in East London. That's a tongue twister. It's quoted here, "I left a high-paying job in the city because I wanted to make a difference to the people I knew and grew up with." Ishmael told the Daily Mail those whose potential went unfulfilled because of where they grew up. So he wanted to give back.
Awesome.
And there's more on that story, obviously. I just wanted to spotlight that for you guys. Go to Sunny Skies, SKYZ.com, and look up lawyer gives up 6-figure salary. It's a pretty cool story.
It'll be on Facebook, right?
Yep, and the link will be on Facebook. And then, Bobby, you want to read the quote of the day?
Quote of the day. Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. And I promise you something great will come from it.
Dun, dun, dun. I like how it focused on 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You can just muster up 20 seconds.
Courage. You know, that reminds me of a time I was in a club and there was this girl across the room and I was like, man, I would really like to ask that girl to dance.
Yeah.
And usually, you know how they say you just make a decision and you go?
Mm-hmm.
That was always my out, was I just make a decision not to do it. But I did this time. I got up the courage and I walked across the room. I'm like, hey, you want to dance? And she said, no.
Oh.
Sorry, there was no great. But you know what? I was like, hey, I did it, man. I
felt good, probably.
I did it, yeah.
Awesome.
But good stuff.
Do you know who
Face
it
your
was by? You think it was by? It's a funny name anyways.
Yeah, it's a big, long name. I was thinking it was the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, but I don't think that's who it is.
You need to say that again.
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi? He was the yogi that taught the Beatles when they got all hardcore into meditation and stuff.
Awesome.
And he did some other things, but
yeah,
the Beatles is popular.
I just love that name.
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can say
it's
it.
fun saying too.
All right, those are our segments today, peeps. And now we'll go to the Biz Munchers review, and you can listen to the interviews there. We're going to stay live on YouTube.
We're just going to sit here and listen with you.
Listen with you as we play this road trip.
And action.
Welcome to the Biz4GoodShow road trip segment. That's right, we're on a road trip. We're here at BizMunchers at Club 90. BizMunchers for lunch. You gotta eat. I had a friend that tell me all the time, you gotta eat. So we're here with a bunch of business owners and crazy people and entrepreneurs and weird folks.
Crazy guy.
And we're clinking stuff, making bunches of noises. We're in our own space. Of course,
like
Ryan is here. Say hello, Ryan.
Tunnel.
Hello, Ryan.
Gosh, he totally did that. He did it. Okay, so we decided we're going to do, this is just a super quick
Biz for Good Show. We're asking the folks here at Biz Munchers, what does business for good mean to you? Not the show itself, but what does business, doing good in business, mean to you?
We have to clarify that because we sidetracked a couple of celebrities.
Yeah, we sidetracked a couple celebrities, and they looked at us with wide eyes going, what do you mean? I don't know. I've never heard of, what is this Biz for Good thing? What are you talking about? And Chuck Norris looked at us like,
Maverick dude, but he got it covered.
yeah, the Maverick guy kind of did get it a little bit. So anyway, we're gonna go around and we're just gonna interview folks. Hey, we want to interview someone that you've heard from in the past quite a few times, Mr. Kevin Taylor. How you doing, Kevin?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I know we've heard this from you, but we're gonna ask again. What does business for good mean to Kevin Taylor?
So today, what it means to me, based on what I'm doing, I spent the morning reaching out to students at the school I work for who are going to be impacted by Hurricane Irma, and reaching out, trying to find out what's happening with them, where they're going to be, if they're in good shape. And I think one piece of business for good is just being aware of who your customers are and paying attention, recognizing their needs beyond just buying your stuff. You know, and I think that's what I've been doing this morning is
Caring about the people that you're interacting with in business.
Isn't that a weird idea?
I love it. It's a be good, do good for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's what's on my mind today for what is business for good.
Awesome. Well, we have with us today also one of our sponsors, the CEO of Speak Up. And he's been dying to tell us what business for good means to him. Mr. Kerry White. How you doing, Kerry?
Awesome.
You know, that is our favorite word. We use the word awesome quite a lot.
I think so, yes.
And we only have amazing guests on the podcast, so just so all of you that know, you are all amazing guests. So thank you for being here today.
I thought we were awesome.
Well, you're awesome, but you're amazing guests. You're awesome people, but amazing guests. Okay? So, Kerry, what does business for good mean to you?
It means finding out what the other person wants and helping them to get it. And as Zig Ziglar used to say, you help enough people get what they want, and you'll get what you want.
Oh, Mike, drop the mic. The man just knows how to make it. Gee, there's no... Done.
That's why he's the brains of the operation.
That's why he's the brains of... Absolutely. Wow. Thank you, Kerry.
Short and sweet. That's all you need, right?
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I think that sums it up. That sums up the whole we talk about all the time. The business is more about being cutthroat and you know, trying to beat the other guy and all that stuff. It's really, when you focus on the client, the customer, whoever, and giving them what they need, then you get it. You get it.
Find out what the other person wants. Help them to get it. That's it.
Done. And we have somebody here with us today that's been on the show before. The Jerry Lund, ladies and gentlemen, owner of Fire and Fuel Apparel. Mr. Jerry Lund, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you, and you're going to tell me, what does business for good mean to you?
Well, business for good means to me today, I'm working on a project with some stickers for the Houston disaster. The stickers are $10. You can buy them online, and all $10 of the proceeds are going to first responders that are caught up in the storm. So often first responders get called back to work, and no one really thinks about that. All first responders, police, fire, EMS, and they don't get to return home until the disaster's done. And who gets to take care of them when they're gone from home and their families? So the stickers just raises $10, going all back to them, and that's just one business for good thing that I do with my business. Another one is I'm also part of the Utah Firefighter Calendar supporting cancer. So I make shirts for them, and they sell them and raise money that way. So business for good is just giving back and asking nothing back for it.
Awesome.
Mic drop number 2.
What?
Mic drop number 2.
Mic drop number 2. Man, we've got some powerful people here today.
It's a good thing you got the old mics so you can keep dropping them.
Yeah, that's right. We got old mics now that we could drop. Okay, we have the John Bell with us here as well. John Bell, I'm going to let you say who you are and stuff because you're a man of many interesting connections and talents and ideas, and you just tell us about you. And then, of course, what does Biz for Good, Business for Good mean to you? You want to hand the mic to him?
You sure, Bob?
Okay, John Bell here. I guess I'm sort of the host of another meetup group called Starting Point, or Entrepreneur Starting Point, and sort of a spinoff from Entrepreneur Launchpad. Give a shout out to them. Biz for Good. Okay, to me, that has special meaning. Business tends to be, in modern day terms, getting as much money as you can from other people. And business for good to me means what was said before, giving people what they want and what they need. And then when you do that, you'll benefit from it. So that's my take, is provide something that actually has meaning beyond what your customers want, but also what they need and what it does for society. So that's the key to me. Back to Bobby.
What it does for society. I love that. When we think of the big picture and we get out of ourselves, that's where we really start to make an impact. Okay, Ryan, we don't hear from you all the time. I want you to tell me, what does Biz for Good mean to Ryan Pilkington?
Well, I started Biz for Good Show because I noticed that a lot of people in business are doing good things, and I really wanted to highlight and showcase people doing that in the world because of all the negativity we see in the media today. So Biz for Good to me means just passing along good things and putting it into business practice. And it's near and dear to my heart as I do many projects. So there you go, people. There you go. Did you want to hand it over to my wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it.
Say something first.
Okay.
No, I've got to hog the mic a little bit, man. That's because that's what I do right now.
Is this why we don't hear from you?
Yeah, I got to make Ryan fight for it, man. He's got to fight for it. Dang it! And you know what? The sad part is my OCD or my
ADD.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
ADHD.
Has just shot out of my head, and so now I don't know what I was going to say. I had something really cool to add to what you were going to say. It might have been really cool. It might have not been all that cool, but.
Why I started Biz for Good?
Oh yeah, that was it. Everybody that said something so far, this isn't rocket science. This isn't some big magical secret. Do good in the world and you'll get clients. Do something good, do something that they need, that they want, and you'll succeed in it. You'll get that back. It's not hard, guys, and it's so funny that there's all these business practices you can go to. There's these classes.
It's not hard,
you can get your MBA and
It's
go to
hard.
college for 6 years to get this MBA. When it all boils down to find out what they want
Does this guy know what he's
and
talking
give it to
about?
them.
I don't know.
And help them to get it.
For sure.
Boom. Okay, Linda. We get to hear from you today. What is Biz for Good?
She's been on a podcast briefly.
Yes. What does Biz for Good mean to Linda?
You know, business for good. Everyone thinks when they hear business, oh, they're just out for the money. It's a cutthroat business, literally. You know, honestly, I echo what everyone has already said. It's about doing good in the world, about seeing the good in the world and being the good in the world, and not necessarily focusing on the bad, because when you accentuate the positive, you're getting rid more of that negative.
I love it.
Boom, boom.
So true. I love it that it's how consistent we all are. And I think we all do come to the conclusion that doing good in business is a good business practice. Okay, we got one more person here.
Another amazing guest.
And another amazing guest. The Scott Johnson.
the one and only Scott Johnson. He's going to tell us exactly what Business for Good is to him.
Well, after listening to everybody, I think for me it is giving great value for value, not just value for value. Because in doing that, you're putting your all into another person, another business, and when they see it, the value's just there. So always give great value for value. Don't expect it to be even. It always ends up even.
Awesome. I think we hear that time and time again, that if you give them more than what they expected, they'll always come back. They'll always trust you, for one. If you give them more value than what they pay for, they're going to always come back. Clients are always going to come back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, we do have to pay for this food, don't we? I should probably pull out my card and stuff. Yeah, she's the waitress is coming around. Okay, folks.
Oh, it also means another thing. It means disrupting large corporation to benefit small.
Ooh, woo, there it is, folks. Yes. People don't realize 47% of business in the U.S. is small business. 47%, almost half of U.S. business is small business. That's powerful. That means something. There's a reason for that. One small business isn't going to change the economy, but 50,000 small businesses absolutely will. So, folks, take it on.
Coming live from BizMunchers.
Coming from you live at BizMunchers at Club 90 for lunch, BizMunchers lunch, and the waitress is looking at us like, oh my gosh, she doesn't want to talk. She's running away now. She's ready. She's waving. We have too much fun here, guys. Okay, we're gonna wrap up the show. We're gonna do some segments and stuff, and this is a side. Of course, road trips are always our side shows. So, sideshow. We should say that. I love it. It's a sideshow. That works. That works for me. All right, folks. All right, that was awesome.
Strolling down memory lane.
Oh, very, very good. Very good. Well, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
We got some, I think, good insight. We got a whole bunch of interviews in, and those are kind of fun. I really like doing that to get different insight from different people.
It was awesome. And the food was good. Thank Club 90 for hosting BizMunchers.
Club 90 for hosting BizMunchers. Hopefully some more to come. And we need to get a bunch more people out there. It's a giant room that's dedicated just to us to have some fun in.
If you're listening to this and in the Salt Lake area, we do put on 2 BizMunchers a month. You can go to facebook.com/BizMunchers, BizMunchers.
BizMunchers.
Check out all the event news there. We got a lot going on, Bobby.
We do. We got a lot going on.
Crazy.
We got all kinds of stuff going on because we believe in Biz for Good.
Hashtag
Be good, do good.
Hashtag
Be good, do good. Hashtag Be good, do good.
And that's a wrap.